As above, so below. As within, so without. This ancient Hermetic truth, articulated in the Emerald Tablet, invites us to see beyond appearances, recognizing that the microcosm and macrocosm are not separate entities, but rather two expressions of the same universal reality. The same intelligence that forms the stars also shapes the atoms within our bodies. Today we'll explore the depths of this universal law, examining how it aligns with cutting-edge scientific insights, as well as the timeless wisdom of mystics and philosophers throughout history. We will see how this principle can practically help us become more integrated and aware individuals. This law, known as the Principle of Correspondence, states that reality in all its dimensions is structured fractally. The Hermetic Principle suggests everything in the universe is interconnected, and every fragment of the whole mirrors the entirety. For example, our body's cells carry the same genetic blueprint as the entire organism, making each cell a miniature version of the whole body. Similarly, galaxy movements reflect the behavior of atoms and electrons orbiting their nuclei, showing universal laws remain consistent from astronomical to subatomic scales. The Law of Correspondence teaches us to see the universe as a vast mirror. To understand reality, first observe yourself. Just as the macrocosm impacts the microcosm, our inner state influences the external world around us, revealing a powerful insight. By transforming what is within, we inevitably transform what is outside. Spiritually, as above, so below, points toward a profound awareness of unity within everything. Jesus Christ wisely said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. Just as the cosmos holds the potential for all things, each human, in their inner microcosm, carries the seed of the divine. The human mind is simultaneously an observer and a creation of the universe. Just as the cosmic whole manifests in every atom, each human reflects the cosmos's totality. Jesus' Hermetic philosophy states, each person is a microcosm, a small universe that expands, reaching out to harmonize with the greater universe. This emphasizes the responsibility and power in managing our minds, thoughts, and emotions. Doing so also cares for the external world. The philosopher Plotinus affirmed, "The more a man knows himself, the more he understands the universe and what lies beyond." This echoes the Hermetic idea that comprehending the cosmos begins by exploring the universe within ourselves. Spiritual teachings remind us that our inner state, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, functions, as a lens shaping how we perceive the external world. If we are peaceful, we perceive peace around us. If we're conflicted, the world seems hostile and chaotic. This understanding shows the perceived barriers between ourselves and others, or humanity in the universe, are merely illusions. In truth, we are integral parts of a greater whole, constantly interacting internally and externally. Thus, transforming our inner universe harmonizes our relationship with the outer universe. For mystics, as above, so below means acknowledging that everything in the cosmos also exists in potential within us. Carl Jung, renowned Swiss psychologist frequently referenced here, explained that the human unconscious mirrors the collective unconscious, a repository of images, ideas, and archetypes shaping our life experience. Just as the cosmos continually moves and transforms, the inner universe of each person is dynamic and vibrant. Exploring this inner universe helps individuals not only discover personal truths, but also connect with archetypal forces and universal truths present throughout the cosmos. Thus, the spiritual journey is a return to the universal center within. Just as above, so below, affirms correspondence between macrocosm and microcosm, it suggests an integration between spirit and matter, being and doing, internal and external. Paracelsus, the renowned alchemist and natural philosopher, said understanding oneself is the first step to understanding all things. Alchemists see self-knowledge as the path to unity with the whole. By transforming our inner lead, fears, doubts, and limitations into gold, wisdom, peace, and mastery, we align with the divine flow of the universe. This is the alchemical process, harmonizing the above with the below, recognizing matter and spirit as one. 612. The principle of correspondence encourages us to view the universe as a series of layers, realities that reflect one another. It teaches that there's a deep connection between different levels of existence, and that events on one plane have echoes, parallels, or resonances on the others. Within the tension between spirit and matter, the second Hermetic law reveals that spirit and matter, although they appear to be opposites, are truly reflections of the same fundamental reality. The material world we experience is actually a projection of forces, ideas, and laws operating on the spiritual plane, meaning matter is like a shadow or outward expression of the subtle laws and energies of the spirit. According to the principle of correspondence, spirit is the original, the causal plane where all ideas and energies are born. Matter, then, is the manifestation of this origin, formed according to the unseen laws and patterns of spirit. You can think of spirit as the source and matter as the image projected by that source. Matter only exists because of the movement and presence of the underlying spiritual energy. In this way, the visible world is shaped by invisible forces from the spiritual realm, much like a statue takes form from an idea. Similarly, any transformation we seek to bring about in matter must first begin at the level of spirit through intention, vision, or mental focus. We can understand this dynamic by looking at nature itself. Take DNA, for instance, something invisible to the naked eye but carrying all the instructions needed to build a highly complex physical organism. This connection between DNA and the body is a reflection of the relationship between spirit as the source of information and energy, and matter as the expression of that inner essence. By bringing our mind and intentions into harmony with spiritual laws, we can influence and shape the material world through our will. However, this doesn't mean forcefully controlling or manipulating reality. It's more about aligning with it. When we realize that matter is simply a condensation of spirit, we understand that the deepest transformations happen when we work directly on the spiritual plane. Through our intentions, our thoughts, and our beliefs. For example, someone seeking prosperity might recognize that true abundance starts in the spirit with a mind that cultivates self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. By nourishing these spiritual and mental patterns, the reflection in the physical world inevitably begins to appear, even if subtly and over time. Life is a continuous dance between spirit and matter, where the aim isn't to reject one in favor of the other, but to acknowledge and balance both. True alchemy lies in bringing together the spiritual realm with the material world, recognizing that every part of our physical life has a spiritual counterpart, and that every spiritual experience can be lived through matter. This understanding means that the search for meaning and purpose, often linked to the spiritual realm, must find tangible expression in our everyday lives. When we nurture our spirit through practices like meditation and self-reflection, we are at the same time building a foundation for a life that is rich, purposeful, and aligned in the material world. Ultimately, the principle of correspondence reminds us that the duality between spirit and matter is, at its heart, an illusion born of our limited perception. Both are expressions of the same universal reality. Just like a beam of light passing through a prism and separating into many colors, spirit expresses itself through matter, without losing its true essence. Grasping this truth gives us real spiritual freedom, helping us realize that by fully engaging in the material world and embracing physical life, we are also giving voice to the spirit. The purpose of our spiritual path, then, is not to escape matter, but to transcend it, seeing it as spirit in motion of a spiral galaxy. The same Fibonacci mathematical sequence that shapes the growth of flower petals also governs the spiral arms of galaxies. The principle of as above, so below becomes evident through these repeating patterns, demonstrating that nature follows a universal order. This mathematical organization is often referred to as sacred geometry, a cosmic language that structures everything from the movement of subatomic particles to the life cycles of plants and the formation of star systems. Nature operates through cycles that mirror one another, from the tiniest organisms to the largest ecosystems. The life cycle, birth, growth, death, and renewal, is one of the most universal examples. Just as the seasons turn in an endless cycle, every living being experiences a version of this cycle in their own lives. In the human body, for instance, the circulatory system acts as a microcosm of Earth's hydrological system. Just as rivers flow into the ocean, blood flows into the heart, and from there back out, to nourish and connect the entire body. Both systems follow a similar principle of flow and return, illustrating how the macrocosm, Earth, and the microcosm, the human being, are organized by the same underlying intelligence. This connection between the small and the large is also evident in the cycles of sleep and wakefulness, cellular rhythms, and planetary rotation, all revealing that the principle of correspondence is a foundational code in all living processes. Another striking example of as above, so below appears in the structure of atoms and solar systems. The nucleus of an atom, surrounded by orbiting electrons, looks remarkably similar to a sun at the center of a planetary system, with planets revolving around it. This resemblance has led scientists and mystics alike to propose that the basic architecture of the universe may be repetitive and holographic, with the same designs appearing at both the subatomic and cosmic scales. This analogy points to an ordered cosmos where the microcosm and macrocosm mirror each other. The philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras taught that numbers are the root of all things, suggesting that mathematical and geometric principles underlie reality at every level, from the vastness of galaxies down to the smallest particle. In the study of consciousness, scientists like David Bohm, a physicist and associate of Albert Einstein, proposed the concept of hollow movement. Bohm argued that reality isn't made up of isolated parts but is an indivisible whole, where each part reflects the greater totality, much like a hologram. In other words, every piece of the universe contains the essence of the whole, embodying the idea that events at one level of existence influence others. Benoit Mandelbrot, a 20th century mathematician, discovered fractals and demonstrated how these repeating patterns are a core feature of many natural systems. When we view the universe through a fractal lens, every small piece appears as a smaller version of the greater whole. Thus, as above, so below emerges not only as a symbolic idea, but as an observable reality within the natural world. The principle of correspondence shows us how the outer world, our results, our health, and our physical appearance are all reflections of our inner world, meaning our beliefs, intentions, and, most importantly, our daily habits. Every small action we repeat is a mirror of our mindset, and when accumulated, it shapes a visible reality that we experience. Just like throwing a stone into a lake causes ripples to spread, our habits and thought patterns send out waves that shape who we are and how we live. In simpler terms, our physical, emotional, and even financial state reflects what we consistently cultivate inside ourselves. Every area of our life shows what we believe, desire, and practice daily. A disciplined mind lays the groundwork for building healthy, consistent habits. Someone with mental discipline, clear goals, and a sense of purpose will show that same inner order through their body. Mental discipline turns into concrete actions, regular meals, physical activity, and habits that nourish and strengthen the body. As a result, the body becomes a reflection of that organized mind, healthy, strong, and balanced. On the other hand, a disorganized mind that easily falls into distractions and lacks priorities tends to develop harmful habits. This kind of thinking shows up in a body that reflects disorder, extra weight, fatigue, and ongoing health issues. Without inner discipline, we tend to choose immediate comfort, like processed foods, too much sitting, and not enough sleep, which provide momentary relief but lead to long-term damage, physically and emotionally. Think of someone who constantly puts things off, avoids exercise, and doesn't care about their diet. This person shows a state of mental disorganization in their body. Extra weight and tiredness are signs of a mind that's undisciplined and out of balance. As Aristotle famously said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not a single action, but rather a habit. Every small action, done every day, has a huge impact. Someone who spends just a few minutes each day on self-care, learning, or exercise is planting seeds that will grow into something valuable over time. Small moments of care and discipline, when accumulated, lead to great achievements and a richer life. To an outside observer, a big transformation, whether physical or mental, might seem like the result of something drastic, but it's really the result of many small, consistent actions done with intention. True transformation happens when we realize that success or failure comes from small choices made every day. A simple habit like drinking more water every day might seem trivial at first, but after months it can completely change a person's skin, energy, and overall health. This is how the principle of correspondence works. Small actions that begin in the mind, manifest in daily life, and then create major changes in the bigger picture. To transform our outer results, whether it's our body, health, or relationships, we must start from within, from the mind and spirit. That's the true power of the law of correspondence. By shifting our mindset and embracing discipline, self-care, and self-love, our daily habits naturally begin to reflect those internal changes. And little by little, our external world starts to shift in harmony with this new internal alignment. Those who have clarity and direction, those who know what they want to build and achieve, develop habits that support that journey. A strong body, a clear mind, and an organized life are reflections of a soul that's found its purpose and expresses it through every small action. When we reflect on the law of correspondence, we come to see that this ancient wisdom is not just for philosophical musings. It provides a framework for living with more harmony, authenticity, and purpose. Living by this principle helps align our inner world with the outer world, bringing clarity, emotional balance, and overall well-being. Just as the universe arranges itself in cycles and harmony, we must also seek this balance within ourselves. At its heart, the universe is like a vibrant melody, and each of us is a note resonating. In the harmony of the whole, how we are on the inside is reflected on the outside. Our thoughts, beliefs, and habits are the invisible threads that shape the reality around us. The law of correspondence reminds us that we are the creators of our own existence. The clay is our consciousness, and the chisel is our actions. So like a mirror reflecting the starry sky in the calm waters of a lake, life mirrors what we project from our soul. If we seek peace, we must cultivate calm within ourselves. If we desire strength, we must nourish it with discipline. And if we want love, we must allow it to blossom within us as an unbreakable flame. Let us always remember what we create within ourselves, the world will reflect back to us. As above, so below. As within, so without. May every choice we make be a silent, intentional prayer, echoing through eternity and bringing forth the highest expression of our being. Thank you for watching.